Hello everybody and welcome back to The Way That I See It. I unfortunately still have zero Wi-Fi, so I am recording my podcast without a microphone, without my Mac, and fully on my phone, and then hopefully just going to upload it from here and hope it all works out okay. So if there's a slight echo, I apologise. This is a one-time thing. This time next week, hopefully I should be connected to Wi-Fi. So what I wanted to jump on and talk about tonight was quite specific actually, because a real conversation came up yesterday with a friend of mine who's recently celebrated her engagement. And we both made a flippant comment about luck and how, I feel lucky to have this house and she feels lucky to have met the one. And I was like, wait a minute. Like, I actually don't believe in luck. Like, truly deep down, I don't believe in luck. I am a massive believer that we create our destiny, we create our own reality, we create what we're available for, we create what we're an energetic match for, we create the environment that we surround ourselves with. And so when we said this, I actually thought to myself, I was like, why is it that we say this? Why is it that we say things like, I'm so lucky? And I honestly believe that we say it to justify why good things happen to us. We feel the need to justify something good happening in our experience. Now, the reason that I believe that we do that is purely, right? And I mean purely because of the fact that we're afraid of what other people think. We're afraid of how other people are going to judge us. We're afraid of what people are going to say about us. We're afraid of how things are going to roll, they're going to say, what they're going to think about us. And honestly, when you really think about that, that's a sad state of affairs. That's a sad state of existence, that we are genuinely so concerned about what people believe about good things that have happened to us, that we decide to justify those good things by saying that some arbitrary luck fairy landed in our life. Now, I am not saying that good things cannot happen out of thin air. I am not saying that the divine or the universe or whatever you believe in hasn't delivered you an absolute miracle, because I truly believe in miracles. I've seen many things happen in my life. But what I refuse to accept is that these things happened without your knowledge, without you having any intention or energy or passion or desire behind them. Because as human beings, that's one of my dogs, with no mic, there is no filter. Without desire, without determination, without intention, there is no manifestation. So the way I interpret manifestation is simply this. We decide what we want, we get clear on why we want it, we clear all the reasons why we say we can't have it, or Abrahamics would say the resistance around it. And then what happens is we take inspired action. So when we've decided what we want, we believe we can have it, we move forward in the pursuit of our goals and dreams, taking action every single day that feels good and aligned, right? Alignment to me simply means being in love with what you're doing or being intentional about what you're doing. So when those things happen over time, that creates an energy field, right? That creates a pattern of momentum. It creates a vibration ultimately. And I can get into manifestation. Maybe I can do a whole episode on energy. Let me know in the comments below if that's something you want me to do. Drop me a DM on Instagram, Lucy Superfox, or at Next Level Lucy. But what, for me, so when people say things like, oh, I'm so lucky, I'm like, yeah, but are you though? Or did this actually come as a result of what you decided you wanted? You decided you were available and ready for it. You cleared all the reasons that said it wasn't possible for you. And then you took inspired action in the direction of your goals and dreams. So especially when it comes to a romantic partner, right? If we get really clear on what we want, why we want it, we get really clear on what we're available for and what we're worthy of, and then we just take action in the design, like in the direction of our goals and dreams. So we show up to the place, we go to the thing, we meet the person, we answer the friend request, like whatever it is, whatever dating looks like in modern day life. And that, to me, that is inspired action, and that in turn delivers the result, which is the love of your life, right? And so when people say they're lucky, I'm like, you're not lucky, you just trusted the fucking process. And for me, the reason why people don't ever trust the process, or they constantly question the process, or they're looking left, they're looking right, they're looking around going, oh my God, when's it going to happen for me? That tends to happen because they haven't actually done the earlier work. They haven't actually done the work to bridge the beliefs between where they are and where they want to be. And so this is where the Build Your Belief bundle came from, right? My mini course is $279 in British pounds. And then you can pay that in 3-month payment plan. It's got 5 modules, 4 bonuses, 2 downloads. And for me, and probably about in total, like over 12 hours content. And the reason why I created that was truly because I wrapped my head around how I had redesigned and recreated my beliefs last year. Now, don't get me wrong, there's pretty much a universal process for overcoming limiting beliefs, right? It's a whole study of field of therapy on it, right? But for me, I worked out how I had done it, how I created new beliefs, how I bridged the belief in between. I call them bridging beliefs, so the bits in between I bridged the gap. And then what happened was I believed I could. So when I believed I could, I was then able to trust the process. If we're not trusting the process, we're either trying to take too much control and we're not trusting in something greater than us. We're not trusting in a bigger picture. Or it's because we don't actually believe that we can. And deep down, we're battling our own limiting beliefs. We're battling our own limiting challenges. And so what I really want to call on you and say is that if you ever catch yourself saying you're lucky, give yourself some fucking credit. Like, we have to own the good shit and the bad shit. We have to own our part in all situations and dynamics that appear in our life. So if something is unhealthy in our relationship, we have to own our part in that. If something is not working out in our finances, we have to own our part in that. Where did our belief system say that can be a reality for me? At what part of a previous version of me was available for that, right? When we take ownership and recognize that, that's a really powerful state to be in. It's a really powerful place to be in, because when we own the bad, we can own the good. And when we can own the good, we can move forward. But what happens is so many people are willing to own the good, but they're not willing to own the bad. And that creates a victim mentality. It creates a sense of something happened to us. It creates a sense that we don't have any control, which again is total bollocks. We have, what I really believe, is 90% of the control. So if you had to work out percentages, the way I decided is I've got 90% of the control. That 90% of control sits in the way I think, what I believe, and the way that I act. And the 10%, the miracle, I leave room for miracles. I leave space for things to happen. I leave space to be delighted and surprised by the divine or the universe. And that 10% for me, that 10% is where the miracles and the magic happens. But I have to do my 90%, right? Now, sometimes the universe will pull its weight and it'll pull 40%, 50%. And I've had experiences in life where I've set goals with certain deadlines and the universe has pulled it out the freaking bag, right? Whether you believe in the universe or the divine. But what I will tell you is that my belief never wavered. And so actually I was fully doing my work. I was fully trusting the process because my belief in the result didn't waver. So when people say things like, I'm lucky, I'm like, what? Or did you just stay in the faith? Because they're two different things. Staying in the faith and being lucky are completely different experiences. Being lucky to me sounds like potluck. But even if you were to win £1 million in the lottery, there was a part of you that was available for being a millionaire. And therefore, I would argue that you weren't lucky. It was intention, powerful vibration, and you showed up and trusted the process, and you were open to how things came in. And that's what I used to not be. I used to not be open. I used to be super closed-minded. I used to believe that everything had to be linear, that I had to earn every penny I earn, and I had this massive belief system around earning, and I've really transformed that belief system around earning into receiving. And so I'm open to money coming from all sources. So I don't know if I told this story in a previous podcast. I'll tell it really quickly. So basically, I wanted to manifest a really specific amount of money, and it was £7,000, and it was for something specific. And it wasn't because I couldn't have made it over time, but I wanted to make it specifically I wanted it to appear, I wanted it to be something that I could go, oh my God, yes, the universe has got my back. I absolutely manifested this specific amount of money from this different thing. And so I got really, really clear that it was £7,000 and I wanted to manifest the £7,000 to pay the specific thing. Now, what's so weird, right? And this is what happened. So then I was on Instagram, as you are, and I saw this advert for PCP. So my Mercedes is on a PCP, and it said, PCP claims, have you taken out a PCP in the last how many years? And I was like, I actually have. So I filled in the forms, got a phone call. This guy was like, okay, I need your registration paperwork, need your finance agreement. So I sent all that over. And he phoned me up and he was like, so actually we've worked out there were undisclosed interest charges, and we definitely think you're owed a claim. And the amount we take is 40%. And I was like, yep, that's cool. And he was like, so the total amount we think you're owed is, and I'm making these figures, I can't remember exactly, but £11,629, which means that you would be left with £7,286. And I was like, of course I am. Of course it is. Of course that's the amount of money. Of course. And so what I want you to understand is, and that money still hasn't manifested because I wasn't specific about the time that I wanted it. It's on its way, but it's in court right now. But here's the thing. That was me being open to where that came from. I could have been super closed-minded, decided I have to earn it from my business. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? But what that doesn't allow is you don't leave room for the universe to work the miracles and the magic, which honestly, truly are the delights of your life. So when you say that you're lucky, what I want you to say instead is, it worked. Everything's working out for me. It worked. I manifested it. I created my dream life. I can do anything. Anything is possible. And tell that story and share with other people what is possible when they decide what they want, they work out why they want it, they clear all the reasons why they say they can't have it, and they write the new story and take fucking inspired action. Guys, that's why I built the Build Your Belief bundle. That's why I designed the mini course, because I genuinely know that these are the steps that people need to take. This is the journey that people need to go on. There is no such thing as fucking luck. What we have is the ability and the opportunity to manifest anything we want, but it's what we're available for, it's what we're a match for, and it's what we're willing to work on. The work is always the inner work, I will tell you that. I am an outer work person. I am a high achiever. I'm a high performer. I will always put in more hours than everybody else. When I was in my events career, I would always be the last one on site and the first one on site in the morning. And that still remains to this day. But what I have learned to trust instead is be open and be in the space of my inner work and be willing to look at my inner work, my fears, my beliefs, my desires, to be able to own those fucking desires and say, that's what I fucking want. And I'm not going to apologize for it, because I truly believe I'm worthy of it. And I'm going to be open to how it comes. And I'm going to trust and have faith in the process. And any time that something comes up for me that says, I can't have that, you can't do that, who are you to have that, that's not possible for you, I say fucking bullshit, and I do the inner work. So I've ranted on for a whole 11 minutes about that. No such thing as luck, my friends. No such thing as luck. So in the next episode, I'm going to talk a little bit more about inspired action. I had a couple of questions on Instagram about this, and I thought, you know what? That's a great topic. So this was, as always, the way that I see it. I'd love for you to leave a message below, tag me on Instagram, and I'll see you on the next episode.